I've discovered that this is very true. Let me explain this to you, for those of you who are not artists. On the one side, absolute narcissism. This is the dark side of the force, okay? This is where you believe your art is perfect. You could do no wrong. And in fact, you start to part your hair and wear funny clothes, the more notice your art brings. You suddenly feel like everything's great. And if you fall off this chart onto this side, then you become one of those self-absorbed egomaniacs whose art gets less and less good as you get more and more popular until eventually you're winning an award for the art you used to make. But now you're actually more concerned with having your feet scraped before the interview. Other side is crippling self-doubt. This comes along when you actually reach out for fan input. You actually want to know what professional critics think, even though they themselves never create art and they wouldn't know how to if they tried. And yet they've become professional critics, sort of like the movie Ratatouille, and that you become so concerned with being a critic you forgot how to eat. But in between this suicidal depression of crippling self-doubt and absolute narcissism where you become a butt wipe, if you can strike a balance between those two for that brief second, you're suddenly in that little rare air moment where art actually exists. And it can be created, and it's wholesome and it's good. But it's sort of like a Jedi Knight. And that if you've never been on either side of the extreme, then you're not really a Jedi Master. You're just somebody messing around with the Force. But until you've been crippling, self-doubting, to the point where you're reaching out for more beatings, or if you've never been an egomaniac who thought yours was perfect, then you haven't really experienced the Force. You've just been monkeying around. And you can't live in that middle. You can try, but you can't live there. It's a temporary balance between two miserable worlds. I saw this, someone else actually posted it. And like all good art, I stole it. But I think it's excellent. It's very true. Okay, now back to being a self-absorbed narcissist.